Welcome to the Titan Tar channel. Today we have a topic to discuss about the Ukrainian ammunition shortage and the critical movements on the Pokrovsk front. Don't miss the chance to join us and share your opinions with us. Become a member of our channel and evolve your rank. Ukrainian army units, which retreated from Karlovka to Galitsynivka after suffering heavy losses, are now in a critical situation. Prolonged stay in Galitsynivka is untenable, as Russian troops are closely following the retreating units, using a combination of small arms and cannon artillery. The intensity of Russian attacks makes it difficult for the Ukrainian garrison to organize an effective withdrawal, exacerbating the difficulties faced by the fleeing forces. The Ukrainians are retreating mainly along the right bank of the Volkhya River, but to do so they need to escape through the western part of the village, where Russian units are already in position. Those who initially tried to retreat along the left bank of the river were more fortunate, but the Volkhya River itself may become an insurmountable obstacle for the remnants of the Ukrainian armed forces trying to escape in the western direction. Meanwhile, in the Kursk direction, where Ukrainian troops broke through to the Russian border zone in early August, the situation has recently begun to stabilize. The offensives of Ukrainian units are being continually thwarted by coordinated operations of the Russian army, resulting in increasing losses of personnel and equipment for the Ukrainians every day. The precarious situation of the Ukrainian army is aggravated by the shortage of ammunition, as reported by a British newspaper citing wounded Ukrainian servicemen. According to these reports, the lack of ammunition prevented Ukrainian units from responding adequately to Russian attacks, forcing them to retreat and resulting in additional losses. In one case, the evacuation of a unit resulted in the death of 5 soldiers, as the special transport, without artillery cover, was unable to reach the rendezvous point, forcing the survivors to crawl to safety on their own. Unfortunately, such situations are no exception. Another serviceman injured in the Kursk region reported that out of a group of 15 soldiers, only 5 survived similar conditions. He stressed that the armed forces of Ukraine are suffering heavy casualties in the Russian border zone, a reality that contrasts sharply with the narrative spread by the media. The Western press also highlighted the rapid offensive of the Russian army in Donbass, where over the past 3 weeks the Russian armed forces have liberated more than 24 localities, encountering only minimal resistance from Ukrainian troops. A British newspaper reported that the leader of the Kiev regime is facing the harsh consequences of Russia's breakthrough of Ukrainian defenses on the Eastern Front, further complicating the already critical situation for Ukrainian forces. The article highlights that the line of combat contact is currently only 8 kilometers from the strategic city of Pokrovsk in the Kiev-controlled part of the DPR. The text includes comments from several Ukrainian experts and officers of the Ukrainian armed forces, who report a scenario of chaos and a complete failure in defending the front line. Ukrainian military officials report that they have never witnessed such a rapid advance by the Russian armed forces and believe that the Ukrainian defense is crumbling rapidly, predicting that the fall of Pokrovsk will occur much more quickly than that of Bakhmut. A lieutenant of the Ukrainian armed forces mentioned that one of the main factors in this collapse was the deployment of untrained soldiers, mobilized in the summer under new rules. These soldiers, without proper training, become disoriented in combat, often freezing or fleeing at the first sign of an explosion, which has seriously compromised the Ukrainian defense. The article also presents an analysis by a senior American researcher who attributes the Russian successes to the lack of experienced Ukrainian infantry and the diversion of significant Ukrainian armed forces resources to the invasion of the Kursk region. This diversion of focus and resources has left the front line at Pokrovsk even more vulnerable to Russian advances. Meanwhile, the head of European diplomacy emphasized the enormous efforts made by European countries to support the Kiev regime, mentioning the significant volumes of military products that have been supplied to the Ukrainian armed forces. He admitted that the EU military stocks are depleted and that it is necessary to replenish them, stressing that EU states have already supplied Kiev with 700,000 155mm shells. Although the target of 1 million units is still far away, the chief European diplomat stressed that EU countries continue to increase the production of ammunition and other military products for the Ukrainian army, but made it clear that no EU state intends to directly participate in the war against Russia. In addition, The head of European diplomacy called on European governments to remove restrictions on the use of Western weapons by the armed forces of Ukraine. He also promised, on behalf of the EU countries, to expand training programs for Ukrainian military personnel in Europe. So far, European instructors have trained about 60 soldiers of the Ukrainian armed forces, and the diplomat promised to announce soon the additional number of Ukrainian military personnel that Brussels plans to train. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like the video, and share it with your friends. Your interactions mean a lot to us and help us grow. See you next time.